Welcome to the Wide for the Win podcast. Reach readers around the world. Diversify your income. Get your global sales soaring. And break free of any single retailer's stranglehold on your author business. We're here to help you optimize your long-term goals for writing and publishing success. So let's get started.
I love that music. Okay. Hey, guys. Welcome to the WIDEStream. My name is Mark Leslie Lefebvre. I'm here with Susie O'Connell and Aaron Wright. And we are talking about, what are we talking about today, guys?
Creative ideas for selling books during the holidays.
Woo!
Hey! Because
Awesome.
It is officially December, and we're actually kind of coming up on the deadline for, like ordering print copies and all that good stuff. But it's always digital.
Always digital. There's always digital. So yeah, this is, and we also sent out a form last week asking for people to send their submissions in. But of course, we have some other ideas that have been floated around in the last little while. Does anyone want to start with the first idea before we share the one that came in from LL Hunter?
Okay.
I would be happy to. Sure. So my idea is, not surprisingly, to do with large print, since that tends to be something that I focus on more, I think, than other authors do. But if your readership skews younger or older, actually, either way, then you could be sending out a newsletter and saying, hey, look, I have large print versions of my books. If you are looking for a gift for your mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, whatever, then I would be happy to, do a large print version. I have paperback copies of my large prints already, so I can sign them and send them out to readers for them to then gift to their family. But if they are looking for a gift to give to family members, large print is a really easy one to sell, I feel like, because there's a lot of older people who are or people just with low eyesight, but specifically older people who are not as tech savvy, and e-readers aren't as comfortable for them. Getting a large print version is a really great gift. So I like telling my readers, you should be getting these and selling them, or not selling them, but you should be giving them to your family for Christmas.
Oh, I love that idea.
TLDR version, if you don't have large print, you should.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I mean, not every author has large print, and so what happens is, if they're looking for cowboy romance, for example, right, which is your genre,
which they should.
Yeah, and if they're looking for cowboy romance, but they want large print, we know the big publishers aren't doing it. So you already have eliminated most of that competition, with the exception of maybe the big names, right, from the major publishers. But then how many other authors who are in that niche are actually making that available? And let's be honest, gift giving season, signed copies, however they're given as a gift, just is a fantastic idea. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Susie, what was your idea?
I actually had one that just popped into my head that I should have mentioned. If you have a holiday themed story, how about a special edition? And this is fairly new, because now we've got all these companies like Book Vault who offer bespoke options like ribbons and foiling and sprayed edges and jacketed hardcovers. What about taking, obviously it's probably not going to happen for this year, but how about next year? If you have a Christmas romance, like I have one, Mistletoe Kisses, right? I was just talking about it behind the stage. Make a special edition to use to promote during the holidays, right? Because everybody's all about special editions now. Perfect time, right?
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
yep, absolutely.
On the same tone as those signed copies, good time of year, they're extra special gifts, right?
Oh,
yeah.
I like that.
All right.
Mark,
so while we're on the print book world, right? Assuming you have author copies and stuff like that. Now, this, again, we're talking about this in the beginning of December, and usually you have to book this in advance. But I've participated in a significant number of, and there are way more than I've been able to attend, holiday markets, seasonal markets, themed markets, local craft fairs, etc. I was at a very witchy Christmas market last Friday night. And again, because I have true ghost story books and paranormal, adventures and stuff, but those are the kind of books that people are looking for there. So great ideas, but there's so many different Christmas markets there. And yes, going to a book market is phenomenal, but when you're going to a book market and there's just something to think about, and there's 50 other authors there, that's kind of cool because maybe the avid readers are going to get there. But sometimes if they don't get to you before they've already run out of money or baskets or whatever. I'm at the very witchy Christmas market, and there were about 80 vendors there. There were only 3 authors there. So, so one of the authors was selling a completely different genre, and the other author was relatively complimentary to me, but we were across from each other. So anyone who came over to see me, I'm like, oh, you should check out Carol across the way, and vice versa as well. So when you're not the only, or when you're close to being the only book vendor there, you stick out because book nerds are gonna gravitate to you.
Yeah.
It's true. And something that I have found is that on the flip side, if there are a lot of book vendors there, then it actually is kind of cool too, because if you can find other authors locally who you could work with, then it's almost like a networking opportunity too, right? So if there aren't that many book vendors, then hey, you're one of the few games in town, which is nice for sales. And if there's a bunch of book vendors, well, then maybe you find somebody else who you get to work with long term, and you have that bonus. So I kind of feel like there's pluses either way.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've made really good friends with other authors at these markets, because then if you're solo, which I'm often there by myself, I don't have anyone to cover the table when I go to the washroom. You've got a friend who can keep an eye out on your stuff for you, but also doing special promotions. And the other thing I do, another trick that I'll use is I'll go around and I'll see what different people have. So if someone comes up to my table and they go, oh yeah, did you like books? Yeah, I love books. What do you like to read? Oh, I love to read historical romance. I go, oh, I don't have any of that. However, just down there, the lady on the very end, her name's, Jane, and she's got some amazing books. You want to go check her out. So that's another great way to work collaboratively with some other authors in a space like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and I'm thinking just off the top of my head, from December 1st to December 15th in my town of 5,000 or so people, we have the Christmas Stroll, we have the Festival of Trees, we have the Elks Lodge Christmas Craft Show. We have the one that's put on over at the Armory. We've got Small Business Saturday. So I'm like, there's 6 things just off the top of my head.
Right there, yeah.
In 5 seconds, and I'm in a small town, and like in bigger towns, you're gonna have a lot more of these things. So that's a great idea. I'd never even thought about doing that.
Cool. All right. So we've each taken a turn. Should we share LL Hunter's pre-set? So this was via the form that we submitted. So LL Hunter, who you can find at llhunterbooks.com. See, we want to promote the authors who are sharing ideas. And I should have double checked the genre. So check out what LL Hunter writes. LL Hunter suggests offer free postage if a customer buys over a certain amount. Offer a bundle discount on series paperback. So LL Hunter's obviously talking about direct sales, right, off your website.
Yep. LL Hunter writes mysteries. I brought up their website here. You are welcome.
Teamwork.
Right.
I love this idea because it goes back to that, selling print books and selling gifts. So, if somebody says, oh, Mark Leslie or Aaron Wright, oh, my friend loves this author. They're offering signed paperbacks, and I get free shipping if I order the whole series.
Yeah.
It'll help boost the little sales a little bit more, might make them more inclined to click the buy button. No, that's a great recommendation.
We also have a lot of people watching live. Thanks for dropping in your comment. Kristen writes a novel who says, hi, Widelings. Love the hat, Mark. So thank you. Had to get with the season. It was the closest hat I could find that was appropriate for the season.
Mine's buried still, but I do have my little office Christmas tree up. It's not lit yet.
I see it.
And I am apparently McScrooge over here, and I have nothing.
But you have lights all year through. That's the gift that keeps on giving, Aaron.
I do have the pretty twinkle lights.
I have the pretty lights. Yes, all year round. You're welcome.
Kristen also says, I'm heading to a Christmas market on Saturday. Woohoo! To sell books. Looking forward to wearing my special headband and ugly Christmas sweater.
Love it.
Fantastic.
Love
Awesome.
it.
Awesome.
That's
Yay.
And hey, Robin from Eden
Hey,
Books
Robin.
checking in.
Yeah.
yes.
Awesome.
My husband, speaking of local markets, my husband is going to be selling at a local market. He does his own like wood and metal. He blacksmiths and all this sorts of fun stuff. And they were so excited that I was going to be there to sell my books. And I was like, I didn't realize this was happening at this point, and I already have a class schedule that I'm going to be teaching that day. So there's like, I can't. So my husband's selling my books for me. So
But they're pre-signed, right?
They're pre-signed, yes. So
Perfect.
there's a tip. Talk your husband into selling your shit for you. So you're welcome.
You know what? I
fun
should get Liz
story.
to do some of her woodworking, and then I can just sneak my books in there as well. Awesome.
My
life
husband
is
actually does a
books.
better job of selling my books than I do. So that's actually a really good idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, my husband's always like, "Oh, have you met my USA Today bestselling author? And she's so amazing." And I'm just like,
Yep, exactly.
"Oh, will you talk? Hi,
Hi.
I'm leaving now."
Yeah, I
So,
know. I still don't know how to-
Another thing I want to suggest, only because I just entered my books in, I got the email from Draft to Digital about the Smashwords end
Oh,
of
yeah.
year sale. Okay, again, we were talking physical books and stuff like that, and stuff maybe stock we already have. It's getting sort of late in the season to be ordering that stuff in, but some of the digital stuff you can do. So here's the thing. So with the Smashword sale now, Draft to Digital authors can now, you don't have to bulk opt in everything. You have an option now to go in and manually select different discounts for different books, just like Smashwords authors have always been able to do. So that's a big sale in and of itself. But what can you do more than just the sale? Okay, I got these books at 50% off, these at 75, these at 25. Well, there's two other dashboards that allow a DIY discount that you can go in and make. You can do that with Nook if you're publishing to Barnes & Noble. You can go in and add books and create your own special coupon code discount. Correct, Erin?
Yep, you
And
sure can. Yes.
you can do the same thing with Google Play. You can take a bunch of books and say whatever. So let's say, for example,
Incorrect.
I'm doing a huge end of year sale and all of my ebooks that are priced more than $4.99 or whatever are all 75% off. So I've dropped them all to that price. You can, instead of just sending out my author newsletter and saying, hey, this is discounted here at Smashwords, I can now say, hey, all my books are 75% off an ebook, but at only these 3 stores because it's the coupon codes, right? Because again, for price matching and that. So if you want to get them from Smashwords, here's the link. If you want to get them from Google Play, here's the link. If you want to get them from Nook, here's the link. And that way you're giving your customers choice.
Yeah.
Conversely, you set a discount yourself manually, 99 cents or whatever. And you may want to support this with maybe it's going to be hard to get a book club last minute. Even sometimes a bargain booksy may be a little difficult for the more popular genres. But a platform like Crave Books can save you time because there's a whole bunch of really smaller platforms, $5 here, $10 here, whatever, just to give that extra lift beyond obviously your author newsletter.
Yeah, and Susie, I'm pointing to Susie. In my screen, you're above me, so. And
I'm in mine too.
mentioned also direct sales, right? So you link to Smashwords, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and your own
Your own store, of course. Yes, your own store.
And you're like, hey, use these. You can pick, and people will come back and say, why not Amazon? And you're going to say, because Amazon doesn't allow me to create coupons.
Yeah.
This is wide for the win. After all, we don't have KU Kindle Countdown days, so we can't just set a scale, or offer discount codes, or
But we have a Susie O'Connell direct sale countdown days.
We do. And actually, I just use this not for holiday book, not for holiday sale. One of my books was a runner-up for the Indie Author Project contest, and so I just offered a 50% off discount through my PayHip store for my readers. And guess what? About 12 people snapped it up, and I'm just like totally random, out of the blue. Haven't sent my newsletter in almost 6 months because I was in the process of switching platforms and I just didn't have the bandwidth to deal with it. So I was pleasantly and delightfully surprised that so many people jumped on board and grabbed it that didn't already have the book, because you'd think your newsletter subscribers would have all your books, but that's not ever the case. Every time I send a newsletter about, so there's tip number, whatever we're on, 5 or 6 now. Send information about your books to your newsletter subscribers, because not everybody on your list has every single one of your books.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I find that so crazy
know,
because
right?
I'm
Like,
like,
why
do
are you
you know how long? Because you and I both, Susie, we have the last time we released books was years ago, literally years ago,
almost
right?
there?
So how on earth do we have people who haven't already bought all of the books that we have out, right? Like but it's true. Every
Mhm.
time people are like,
Yep.
oh, and they buy this book, and I'm like, you're on my list. How do you
Yep.
not have these books? But
Love
so it
that.
just goes
Oh,
to
yeah.
show.
Another one, 99-cent sale on my holiday book. Sent out the newsletter because I'm part of that, the Romance Book Blast this go around for Black Friday. And
Oh,
again, a bunch of people snapped it up at 99 cents. And that was across the board. That wasn't just my PayHip store. But yeah, it's like, don't you people already have this? Because I sent my newsletter out, the initial one saying, hey, this is coming up this weekend. And I was starting to get sales from my newsletter before the sale actually started officially. So I'm like, I know the newsletter generated sales. And I'm going, okay, didn't realize they were. I mean, I've run that book on sale pretty much every Christmas. And I always get sales from my newsletter, even though these people, I mean, some of these people that are clicking on it have been on my newsletter list for like 8+ years. I'm going, how do you not already have this book? So yeah, send your newsletters.
Well, they get distracted. Like maybe they saw it and they meant to get it, and then they got distracted, and and then they see it. I see that all the time. Where I go, oh, I thought I bought this already. No, I didn't.
What's the marketing? It's 7 times you have to see something before it sticks in your brain.
Yeah, often.
Yeah,
7 times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a comment from DS Lang also says, heading to another holiday bazaar. So lots of great authors are doing this already.
Yeah.
And of course, DS says, I need a hat and lights as well. And here's another thing when you're doing the in-person stuff, because this is still time to get these printed up, is I take advantage of BookFunnel's ability for selling direct, right? Because they have the ability. And so I have separate sets of cards. Some of the cards they go to a landing page where I call it the free taster pack because it's a wolf series. And then they can download through the BookFunnel link either the free short story in ebook or audiobook version, and then go on to buy the audiobooks or the ebooks if they like them. Or I even have when somebody says, yeah, but I only read ebooks. I go, well, I have the card here. I'll sign it for you. And then what I have is on the back, I'm just going to cover it up, but I have the code from BookFunnel code. So I can sell the ebooks right there, or you could use a QR code that directs them to buy it on their phone directly from your author website as well. So those are 2 ways of leveraging digital in physical. The other thing is, hey, I'm offering a special now. You buy the print book and I'll give you the audiobook or the ebook or whatever. Here's the cool thing about that is collecting their email for newsletter, right? So you can just say, yeah, scan here and whatever, and I'll purchase that. I get your email address, and when I get home, I'll send it to you. But then when I send it to you, I ask if I can opt you into my author newsletter, and then that way that contact you have becomes a long-term contact.
Yeah. Every time I hear you mention your cards with the landing page codes, I'm going, I really need to do that. That's just like a little stroke of genius, and I'm like, I still haven't done it yet.
But you can also do the free thing. So I can also do is say, hey, we just bought the book. I just signed it for you. Here's an ebook. I'll sign it. You can gift this to someone, or read it yourself, right? Bam. It's done, especially because the BookFunnel ones kind of expire, and then usually I get to the end of the batch, and because I only do 50 at a time. I'm like, whoops, I got 20 leftovers that are just going to go bad if I don't give them away.
Oh, how long are the codes good for? I didn't realize they expired.
I think there's something like either a year, but what I did is I went and did 100 or whatever in a bag, and I realized I only sold 20 of them, so I still had whatever, but I'd only printed 50 codes. There's a great way that you can use Avery sheets and you can put them in your printer, and then you can have the so this one says visit mybookcode.com and enter this code, right? I could also create a QR code to the URL and have the code there. And so there's the unique codes, and I usually do 30 to 50 at a time. Maybe I'll just stick to 30 because it's a sheet. Or whatever.
Oh yeah. So you get the codes, each of the individuals, you have 30 different codes, right?
Yeah.
And you get those from BookFunnel, and then you put that into Avery, and then you print it off, and then you have a sticker with an individual code on it, and then you stick those onto the postcards. I'm just trying to wrap my head around how
no. And the great thing, what I love about BookFunnel is there's videos Julie usually does most of the videos. There's not some of the new ones I think are not her, but Julie at Book Funnel, one of the founders, will walk you through. And she does these amazing walkthrough videos. And again, because I do it every 6 months or whatever, so I forget. How do I do this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just curious, is there a way to make it so the codes don't expire? Because if I'm the only one who has access to that code, like I don't need
No, not that I'm aware of, but we can always add, because you know how great Damon and the team are at making
So
things
Damon,
for us.
if you're listening to this, what about codes that don't expire?
Kristen does this as well. Gifts an ebook with the hardcover. So you buy the hardcover, you get the ebook. A nice, easy thing to do, right?
Yeah, and you can stick because like your postcards, you stick it into the book and you go, here you go, right? And and you can use it as a bookmark on your paperback or
I
your
like that.
hardcover. Yeah, so it's kind of a all together package.
Yeah, Julie's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Been a couple of Julies that are really awesome. Julie at Barnes & Noble is awesome too. What is it with the name Julie and just being awesome?
I've got a great friend named Julie who's a co-author of mine. She's great as well. Like all the Julies I know are good.
They are.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's required. It's part of the contract of having that as your name.
Yeah, I think that's a requirement. So yeah, I think any other ideas as we're getting getting close to wrapping up this special.
Just one to wrap up on that same point. If you have friends or if your readers have friends who prefer ebooks, that's another great way to, they can buy the ebook and then, like you said, give away, use it as a gift. Just elaborating on that point. So yeah, one of them that I have actually done, and I've done it a couple times, is like a 12 days of Christmas giveaway where I have a different, like swag, something or other to give away over 12 days. And each time the readers have to enter the giveaway for each day. They can't just, like enter once and that's it. So it boosts, or what I saw it did is it boosted, interactions and engagement on social media. And it was a lot of fun. And I had certain days where like you had to do it on Facebook, other days where you had the join was on Twitter or Instagram, or my newsletter got more love, of course. Newsletter got like every day because it's my newsletter. And so what I did is I have a logo, and I don't know if you got it or not, Mark, the email that I sent. So I have each one of my books has kind of a certain theme on the cover. And I have a little logo that goes with my series, and it's a cabin with a couple of pine trees and then mountains in the background. And I can edit this logo to fit each book. And I actually have a style that fits each book. So what I did is I made a bunch of swag. So here's one example. I don't know if you guys can actually see it or not, but that's for one of my books right there.
Oh,
so I used
cool.
that logo to make like, little tote bags like this, right? So that was one of my prizes.
And I don't have the email from you with the image, so I can't pop that up. Sorry about that.
That's fine. But so I did coffee mugs. I did like a pen and a notebook that matched with the book. What else did I give away? Calendars have always been really popular with my readers because I take the pictures I take the place that inspired the series and make a calendar out of it. I'm kind of in that spot where it's the place I was using Vistaprint, and it's got the spiral, and they're great. The paper quality is great, but they're really expensive if you don't get their sales. And it was getting like too hard to figure out when the sales were. So it's like, if you can get it 50% off, it's $10 plus shipping to you, plus shipping to get to them. So it's like, you want to keep your costs down, but yeah, I mean, my readers really, really love that. I actually had one of them. She asked me to send her a copy of just the logo, and she actually had a coffee mug, like a tumbler, portable. And she actually had it laser etched with that logo. It was I still have it. It was so cool that she gave to me in reverse.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Really cool. That's dedication from a fan.
It is. I know. I've had some great fans. I'm like, she's one of the gals that routinely, if I don't write a newsletter within, like a few weeks, she emails me to check to make sure I'm okay.
I love great fans.
Yeah.
All right. So Kristen has another idea that I think can work great. Again, going back to the in-person sales. So for markets, Kristen says, I've been wrapping a signed book and bundling it with art print, stickers, bookmarks, map print, etc. Ready to gift bundle with just one book. It's already pre-wrapped, perfect for lazy people like me. It's like, oh, I love this book. It's personally signed, and it helps up the average sales. Similarly, I saw Carol Ann doing this across from me last week and I forgot about it. It's a mystery date with a book, $10. And what Caroline takes is a whole bunch of books that are like one-offs or whatever that are leftover, signs them, gift wraps them, and then it's a surprise. It's like all you know is, and I've seen bookstores do this, all you know is it's a mystery or it's a romance.
Yeah, it's wrapped in the brown paper and tied off, and it's got maybe, like the genre on it and one of the tropes in the book. I love
it's for the daring people, like, because some people, I admittedly, I usually bring 20 or 30 different books with me. And so sometimes they go, well, I don't know which one to get. Well, what should I get? And I was like, well, what do you like? And I try to help them. But this is kind of like, oh, you want this genre? Here, surprise.
That is really fun. I love that. I've
found a couple of new favorite authors with mystery dates with books that way. And it was great. And actually one of them, Jennifer Fallon, she's a trad pub author out of Australia, found one of her series that way because our local, was it Barnes & Noble, I think, had the hardcovers on discount for like $3 or some, getting rid of it. But they were doing the blind date with a book. And I'm like, oh, this sounds interesting. Fantasy, such and such trope. And I'm like, ooh, picked it up. And I've now bought every single book that she writes.
Awesome.
So fun story. Okay. So on that line, it's something kind of relatable. I haven't done this one yet, but I've seen quite a few people doing it. And it just always looks like so much fun. And it's basically a book advent calendar. And what you do is you get a group of 12, if you want to do 12 Days of Christmas, or the full 25 authors, different authors. Each one of them has a book. And basically, so each day of the 12 or 25 Days of Christmas, somebody else's book gets featured in newsletters and social media. It's just kind of like helping share the love, getting together. But a little bit more than just, like the Zoe Bubs and the big romance book blasts and the fantasy book blasts and all those, where everything is all piled in one day. Each day, each author's book gets the sole focus.
Right.
So I don't know if this is something that anybody else runs into, but I listen to all of these ideas and I'm like, wow, I wish that were like Erin 3 months ago thought about these ideas, right? Because it's too late to do the 25 Days of Christmas. We're on December 4th, right?
But do you not have a calendar so you can put this in your calendar to maybe start planning in August?
That's what I'm thinking, is that I am going to pull up my calendar, and the rest of y'all, this is I'm talking out loud and encouraging everybody else to do it too. Go to your calendar and put like August 1st, start planning for December so that you can actually have, because a lot of this stuff needs to be planned out beforehand, right?
Yeah. The other thing, Erin, is we've gone through a whole bunch of really great ideas that people submitted and we've bounced around and stuff like that. You can't do them all. It may be too difficult. Pick one or two and try to make a plan for it. Because again, if you're going to get overwhelmed and go, what to do, I'm not going to do any. Right. So just try and pick something that maybe resonates with you or your readers, that you think, oh, that gift wrap thing is perfect. Or as DS Lang just said, sets of 2 or 3 or a whole series do well with a festive ribbon. And Rhea says, Erin 3 months ago didn't think about these things, but it's on a post-it she lost under her desk. Or Morgana says, or you can read your emails, Erin. I sent you one a month ago.
Well, even okay, for everybody listening, here's the hard part for me. Like, it's really hard for me to start thinking about holiday sales until it's like the holiday season. I'm in the mood to think about it because it's everywhere, right? So here's a thought. Maybe plan next year right now. When you're in the mood for Christmas, start, like making notes.
You do all the work.
Your calendars, do all the work now.
Yeah.
And then implement it next year.
While you're in the mood, while you have the Santa hat on, all the things, you set it all up and then you plan it for next year. And you can even substitute in a different title, but at least you've done all the planning work and you know when you need to get things done. Need to order my stock by this. I need to get special. You can do custom gift wrap paper, right, with your logo on it. Why not wrap the book in something like that gives marketing?
Yeah.
Okay.
12 days. You can still do. It's going to be a crunch, but you can still do 12 days of Christmas. There are still time. Let's take 1 or 2.
You can still have 12. We have time.
Days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, since my brain is on this call, hi Rhiannon. Let's talk about planning out next Christmas. Because you're right, Susie. You're right. Like I don't feel like I'm in a Christmas mood in August, and so
Yeah.
I will occasionally think about it. I'll be like, well, December's coming. Yeah, but who wants to think about Christmas right now? It's 105 outside and I'm dying. So you're right. Like doing next year's Christmas
Mhm.
stuff this year
Yeah.
right now is smart.
Or
That may be the best deal.
Valentine's Day is coming up in a couple months. You could be putting that energy towards what am I going to do for Valentine's Day with my romance novels?
Yeah.
Why am I always surprised by things happening? Like, whoa, Valentine's
Oh, like
Day is
2
in
months
3 months.
What
How did
day
that
is
happen?
Valentine's on this year? Yeah, I mean,
No, it's like 2.5 months. It's not even 3 months yet.
that's true.
Sorry.
Okay.
Too late. Can't do it now. All right.
Oh God.
Well, guys,
Okay.
this was fun. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We hit our half-hour mark, so I think we've made fun of Aaron. We've provided some ideas.
Yes.
Lots of wonderful comments from people.
I think we need to rename this WIDEStream to be roasting of Aaron.
Roasting Aaron by an open fire. Yeah.
Oh, I'm include me in that because I'm just as bad. I'm going like, oh hey, it's Christmas, except for now it's too late to do any of this stuff.
Yes. Why is that?
Do it
That's
for next year.
Okay. All right. I like this plan. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, real quick before we go, if you guys have any ideas that you didn't get a chance to share before we went live, share them in the comments, either here on YouTube or on Facebook. Come find us or in the circle group. Maybe we got to start a chat about it in the circle group too. So, we're ready to go for next year. All right.
For sure. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Wide for the Win podcast. The music for this podcast, Sax and Rock and Roll, was composed and recorded by Kevin MacLeod and was licensed for use in this recording. Stay in touch with fellow Wide authors at wideforthewin.com and check out the regular live Wide streams over at youtube.com/wideforthewin.